Hello Merry Makers and welcome to Start Stitchin' Saturday, my beginner friendly tutorial based series that I'm going to start doing on a bi-weekly basis. If you have any requests, please let me know either via comments or by emailing me at happyyarngirl@gmail.com. So today we're going to be doing a crochet stitch. It's actually a stitch from the blanket that I've been doing. It's called the Alpine Stitch. I believe this is yarn from Hershey's. I believe it's a 100% acrylic yarn. This is a 5.5 millimeter hook. It's the first one that I could grab. This stitch is not weight dependent or gauge dependent. So use whatever hook you feel comfortable with your yarn. So first things first, this calls for an even number cast on stitches. I'm going to do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then plus 1. All right. Now, what I like to do is instead of going into the V, I like to go into the back or the bump. But if you don't feel comfortable with that because it's too fiddly, I completely understand. But you're going to go ahead and eat it whichever way you feel comfortable going into that second stitch from your hook. Because, can't go into this one. We have to go into the second one. We're going to go put a single crochet into every stitch. And in case you don't know how to do a single crochet, you go into the loop, draw up a loop. You've got 2 loops on your hook, and you draw through both hooks. As a single crochet in the US. Forgot to mention I am US based. I am right-handed, so the majority of my tutorials are going to be US based and right-handed based. There is a way to flip it in editing. I haven't figured it out. If you know how to do it, great. You have my permission to do so. Or if it's something that becomes a really high demand, I can look into it. All right. We're almost to the end here. This is why I only did 10 stitches, because I know you don't want to see me single crocheting all day. All right, now we turn our work. Now the next step, again, depends on what you like to do. But the first stitch is going to be a double crochet. So either chain 3 and then double crochet, or just chain 1 and then double crochet by looping the yarn over the hook, going through the stitch, drawing up, draw through 2, draw through 2, or my new personal favorite, the stacked single crochet, where it starts out with a single crochet, then you go into the second leg of the first crochet, and pull up a loop, and you've made a second crochet. Either way, whatever way you choose, And sometimes I do 3, sometimes I do 2. It just depends on what the rest of my stitches look like. But then the rest of these stitches are just going to be regular double crochets. And this is just the foundation of the aspen stitch. So this first part is kind of boring. Again, if you don't know how to do a double crochet, loop the yarn over, go down through the stitch that you're putting it in, draw a loop up, draw through 2, draw through 2. And if you're wondering if it matters which way you yarn over on your hook, it doesn't. I actually did a little video about that some time ago. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description. All right, let's see if this is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I like the stacked single crochet because it looks more like an actual double crochet, number 1. Number 2, there's not that gap like there is with chaining. All right, then chain 1, turn your work, and we're going to single crochet in each one now. Again. So this is the official start of the repeat. And it would, whatever yarn you're choosing, make sure you're choosing yarn where it's got good stitch definition. Something too fuzzy or with too much variegation, this stitch is not gonna show up very well. All right, once you've done a single crochet, we're gonna flip it over. Start again with whatever your form of starting with a double crochet is. Like I said, I do a stack 2 or stack 3 depending on which way the wind's blowing. Now the next stitch, we're gonna do a front post double crochet, which is very similar to regular double crochet, but slightly different. So I'm gonna put my yarn over my hook, then instead of going into the hole, I'm gonna go around the post, the backside of the post here. Well, technically the front, because it's a front post. So I'm sticking my yarn, once I've yarned over, I'm sticking my hook behind and around, and I'm bringing my yarn in front and then around. And then I complete it like a regular double crochet. All right. And then the next stitch is a regular double crochet, and then another front post double crochet. And we're going to continue that pattern down the work. Now your first post, your first double crochet is always going to be not front post, and your last double crochet is always going to be not front post. And that's, I've tried it to where I don't do that and it just looks weird. I've got a little tangle here, excuse me. Gotta take care of that. Come on. There we go. So behind, around. So as you see, that double crochet went into this stitch. Now, if I was continuing in my pattern, this one would be a front double crochet. But since it's the last stitch, I'm going to keep it as a regular double crochet. All right, I'm having a hard time getting it into this stitch. I don't know why. All right. And then we go back and do single crochets all the way across again. And it's pretty obvious once you start which one's the front and which one's the back. So when you're working on the back, it's always single crochets, and when you're working the front, it's an alternate between double crochets and front post double crochets. All right, I'm going to do this one last time, and you'll see how this turns into something really beautiful. So do my 2 stack of single crochets. Now, on the previous time when I double crocheted, this was a front post double crochet. So now I'm just regular double crocheting in the space above it. And then the next one is a front post double crochet. So again, regular double crochet on top of the previous front post, and then the next one is a front post. And you can always go back and look and see and go, okay, wait, what did I just do? Or what was the previous one? Now, don't get me wrong. This is one to easily catch yourself auto crocheting on. So don't beat yourself up too much about it. And then we end with a regular double crochet on the ends. And as you can see how that can start create a wonderful texture. If you've seen my all the things, I've got 2 blankets currently that has this stitch in it. I might actually make a whole blanket with just this stitch. It's a really nice stitch to not have to think about. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, make sure you give this video a like. Feel free to comment with your suggestions, requests, and make sure you subscribe so that you can always get notifications about when new stitches come out. In the meantime, make what makes you merry. Ciao.